Hi there, it's Roger V, and we're here for part 2 of 3 of how to be #1 in Google in 3 steps. In this stage, what we're going to do is create content around a specific keyword. And when I say specific, I mean exact, down to whether there's an S on a word or not. We're going to use that exact phrase and create an article into your website. We've done all the heavy lifting for you, so you pretty much just need to do what I'm doing here, and our site will produce the front end. Other than what you're seeing here, we will do all the work for you. We deal with things like XML sitemaps and H2 tags and image alt tags and stuff like that for you. You don't even have to worry about that. So you just need to create a content the way that I'm going to show you here, and it's not much more difficult than writing an email. So let's jump right in. Log into your admin panel, and again, as usual, I want you to take action on this. Don't just sit back and watch this video. I want you to pause this video, take the action, and because you're the one who wants to be #1 in Google, so work with me here and go through it step by step. Alright, so jump into the admin panel, and when you get there, go to post right here. So we're going to log into posts. Here you can see I've got a bunch of keywords already started. So what we're going to do is go through this step by step. Okay, you can see my article already pasted there below, and that's because I write my articles when I've got time, and usually when I'm not at home. So if I'm out running around and I'm stuck somewhere and I'm just waiting, I use that time to be effective. So if you've got an iPhone, you've got any kind of smartphone whatsoever, you can write these on your phone. You can write them out longhand and then later type them in. You can write them at a friend's house, whatever. You can write them at home late at night. You can just use that, and this is a perfect thing to do when you don't know what to do but you want to move your business along, is work on your search engine optimization. Okay, I want to give you a couple tips about the article before I even jump in and go through this line by line. And what you need to do is a little bit of something called keyword stuffing. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to want to use the phrase, your given phrase. So in my case, it's electronic signature. That's the phrase that if somebody types that into Google, I want to be high in that ranking. One, make sure the actual title is that exact word. I don't say electronic signatures, plural. I say electronic signature. It really is that specific. Second, this permalink. We have your site set up by default so that it automatically matches what your title is. However, you want to make sure that's your actual title. Just double check it. And you can't have any spaces in a URL, so you need to have a hyphen in them. Google's going to count a hyphen or an underline or an underscore as a space. They used to count the underscore. They changed that in 2000. Alright, so in the actual body of the article, this stuff we're all going to just ignore. If you wanted to password protect it for some reason, or if you wanted to just keep it as a draft until you were done, you could do that stuff up here. Whatever, just go ahead and play with it. You're not going to break anything. In this case, I've got a category called articles, and simply by categorizing it that way, I know that it's going to be in a certain theme, which is going to be search engine optimized. So if you have a SEO theme, or if you have an SEO articles category on your theme, then go ahead and use that and you get better results on the front end. That's not going to change how you write the article. Okay, so in the body of the article, a few tips. One is you want to go for about a 2% to a 5% keyword density, and if you don't know where to go exactly, go for about 3%. And what that means is if you had a 1,000-word article, you would mention the keyword 30 times, right? Get it? So 500 words, you're going to mention it 15 times. Now that's kind of a lot. 15 times in a 500-word article is a little wonky, and that's okay, right? You're writing this primarily for Google, but it needs to read well for humans and needs to be an actual article. You can't just paste the word in there because I don't think Google does yet, but I suspect that they will be, or they already are, and it's secret, looking at the bounce rate. So if you outsource, that's the last bit there, is write them yourself for better results. Almost all of our clients are experts. The business owner is usually an expert, and you can outsource keyword writing. You can. I have done it. However, I will tell you up front that I've had much better results with the articles that I've written, and the reason is this: if you've probably gotten to a website that just looks like kind of spammy. It's got a lot of ads all over it. The articles are total fluff. They're really just a waste of your time. And what happens? So how do you feel? You feel like they wasted your time. You feel a little annoyed, and you bounce back to Google. Google either already is or is going to look at that bounce rate, because they know when you left Google and they know when you came back to Google looking for a better article. And if the bounce rate's really high, you can bet that Google's not going to value that. Google's not going to value that website, and as a result they're going to punish you by pushing you further down in the rankings. Secondly, then there's just the humans that actually get to your website. If you get to a website and you read something that is clearly by an expert and they're really demonstrating expertise and they know they know what they're talking about just by you reading the article, you're much more likely to want to do business with them. So I'm all in favor of outsourcing backlinks and certain portions of your search engine optimization, but content creation really should have somebody at your company. It doesn't have to be you, but it really should be somebody who really knows the industry. Keyword article researchers, they don't really know that stuff. They can make up an article about anything and it'll read as a legitimate article. It's just so fluffy and pointless that it's ultimately going to, I think, cost you in the end. Okay, so here I've got the actual article. A few things. One is, I recommend it. This is just an optional tip, but Google gives a slight boost to anything that's bold. So I'm just going to bold that. Okay, so here I get into the actual article, and I'm talking about, in this case, what is an electronic signature. I'm not going to format everything now, I just want to focus on that. But long and short of it, when I'm done with this article, right now it's still a little thin, it's only 409 words, right? But when I'm done with this article, it'll be probably 750 words, something like that. But it needs to have the keyword in there a bunch of times, right? There's one there, right? Here's one here. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste a tag. Use the actual keyword as the tag. Alright, next I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and go down to the search engine optimization font. First thing, make the title the actual phrase, the actual word exactly. No S's, nothing extra, nothing more, nothing less. I'm going to drop that into the keyword, and I'm going to add maybe 2 or 3 other keywords. I'm not going to use a lot, right? I'm going to say no more than 3. This description here, first off, it can only be about 160 characters, and it's going to show as this text right here, right? So this text, generally speaking, is coming from this place. Okay, here I've written an actual description, and this is what's going to appear in Google right about there. Notice that I use the actual phrase. So in this case, debt settlement website was the phrase that I searched for because I just wanted to show you a result that I had ranked for. And notice how it bolds this, right? So it's actually bolded the search phrase, right? In this case, I used an S. Notice that it did not bold just because of that S. An S is technically a slightly different keyword. Alright, so I've created that. Now I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into the excerpt. If you have summaries turned on, some themes will use it. It depends on what how you have your website styled. Also, just a tip for keyword articles, you can paste these as posts or as pages. It really doesn't matter. Some of the themes that we have pages, have a search engine optimized page that has a lot of landing features on it. They're designed to generate hundreds of landing pages automatically. So you could put that into pages right here if you chose to. In this case, I'm just going to put it in post because I want it to appear in the news section. Anyway, I'm just going to hit update, and that's it. You're done.